Money can be stolen from you in a variety of different ways, but did you ever think it could be taken through the food you buy? WA&D investigates a nationwide theft known as food fraud.
You pay big money for quality beef, extra virgin olive oil, or lobster. You're going to sit down for a great meal.
But what you're putting in your mouth may not be the real thing. It may have cost you a lot of money, and it may make you sick.
It's fraudulent to sell a more expensive food item which has actually been replaced with something else. It's a crime which can rival the illegal narcotics industry with much lighter penalties.
It's basically like selling drugs, except if you get arrested, you don't go to jail most of the time.
Larry Olmsted is the author of Real Food, Fake Food.
It's been faked and counterfeited since ancient Roman times. It's always been valuable.
Larry is talking about extra virgin olive oil, EVOO. You expect it to be 100% olive oil, but often it can be mixed with a cheaper oil.
Like canola oil or corn oil, which is much cheaper usually. Unfortunately, in the EU last year, they found things like mineral oil, which isn't even a food oil, not something you're ever supposed to eat. Food fraud is almost always tied to prices. The more expensive something is, the more likely it is to be ripped off. So the price of olive oil has shot up recently, and anytime that happens, there's a lot more frauds.
Check the label of olive oil you are purchasing in stores. Does it have one country of origin or several? Does it list harvest and expiration dates? The expiration date should be within 2 years of the olive harvest.
On this EVOO, it has the harvest pick date 2024 and an expiration date of June of 2026.
But the shelf life of a bottle of olive oil unopened is probably 1 to 2 years, opened maybe 3 months.
Even that cute little bear with honey, it may have been adulterated.
You've heard of money laundering? In northern Illinois, ICE agents uncovered honey laundering, seizing more than 60 tons of honey, which had been illegally imported from China. The honey was valued at more than $200,000 and headed to U.S. consumers. Smuggled honey from China frequently has antibiotics prohibited in food. Honey, meat, dairy, alcohol, spices, and seafood all can be faked. The FDA believes food fraud globally could be as high as $40 billion a year. Fish is easily faked. Buy a high-dollar fish dish, it may not be what you ordered.
Red snapper, which is a premium fish from the Gulf, is one of the most defrauded fish. Numerous studies, even in the areas like west coast of Florida where it's native, have found that restaurants claiming to serve it often don't serve it.
Another seafood which is frequently faked for huge profits is shrimp, according to an industry trade group, the Southern Shrimp Alliance.
Just a few months ago, did a study where they went to restaurants all over the South, around the Gulf, and DNA tested or genetic tested shrimp. And in some markets like Tampa, St. Pete, 94% of the restaurants claiming to serve wild-caught Gulf shrimp were actually serving farm fish, a lot of which is imported from Southeast Asia.
Maine lobster is frequently replaced with a less expensive lobster, while lower quality salmon is farmed using antibiotics, while the higher quality salmon is often wild caught in Alaska.
If you have a choice between trafficking in cocaine and fake fish has high profit margins but very little risk. Usually you'll just pay a fine, get slapped on the wrist.
The FDA inspects only about 2% of imported fish shipments.
The vast majority of seafood we eat in the U.S. is imported. The supply chain is highly untraceable. We often don't know where it even came from, nonetheless, what species of fish we're eating.
2019, a grain brokerage and 3 farmers were sentenced in Iowa for their roles cheating thousands of customers into buying fake organic food, which was actually farmed using practices which included using chemical pesticides. The farmers collected more than $120 million from sales of tainted corn and soybeans.
Parmesan cheese for your pasta? It's not what you think it is.
Most people in America think they are getting genuine Parmigiano Reggiano from Italy, but you're usually not. The United States allows a lot of cheese products to be called Parmesan. However, in most cases, it is a different cheese and frequently contains fillers like cellulose.
It doesn't have to be made from cow's milk. It doesn't have to be aged. It can have additives, unlike the real thing, which is pure and very strictly regulated.
You can find the real thing by going to the cheese section of your store and purchase a block of it and grate it yourself. For WAND Investigates, Doug Wolfe, WAND News.
Well, now you know. Looks like you have to police food fraud yourself. It can also be found when maple syrup has been changed by adding cane sugar, rice syrup, or corn syrup. Juices have been found to be altered with water, citric acid, and sweeteners.